All right, team, welcome. This is Sherry Fredericks. Welcome to our weekly Zoom calls. We've got a great topic today. I'm going to officially introduce Sheila when we get to that. I'm so excited for her to share. We'll talk more about it when we get there. So let's start out with a couple victories. We're going to limit it to two. Just share your name, where you're from, and shout out a business-related victory, please.
Well, do you want me to talk about mine, Sherry, although I already told you?
Yeah, tell everybody else.
So I had my very first vendor event, and although it was very slow and we only had about 74 people, I sold $673. So that was pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Your first one. I mean, that's fantastic. So good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Yay. All right, who else wants to go? Angie, why don't you share your little victory that you shared with me yesterday?
Oh, okay. So I think it was last week you had shared to, when you do events, make a goal to book parties and talk to people about sponsoring. And I had never done that before. And so with this event, I know it was going to be a pretty small one, kind of like Angela's, but I had a goal to book 2 parties and I did. So that was pretty cool. I asked people and booked 2 shows off of it. So I was pretty excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I would have never done it had I not put that kind of in my mind. So
that just like warms my heart. So that means when you are doing your events, you set a goal, a sales goal, and it's easy to do if you've done that event before. I always look back and but if it's a new event, you can still set a sales goal. Booking goals, like Angie said, I want to book 2 parties from this, and I want to get 1 recruit lead or whatever you want to say. So yeah.
And they're always new areas, so that's good. You know, when you're at an event, you're exposed to more people. So
yeah, awesome. All right. Thank you for sharing. Did you get new glasses?
No, they're just my readers. I'm fine. Yeah.
Got it. We're looking good. Last call. We'll do one more victory if anybody wants to hop on and share business related. Okay, well then let's move on. Let's just talk a little bit about announcements. Remember in October, there's the charcuterie board and appetizer utensil incentive. So just watch what your sales are. It's always fun to win, some free stuff. Parties, booking your parties for January. Do it now. You know what? In all my career with Taste Play Simple, my 23 years, I've always overbooked my January. And you're probably like, Sherry, I don't even have my November filled. Well, it'll happen. But you're going to book your January in what months? Who wants to shout it out?
October, November, December.
October and November. December, people are going to shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I'm not saying that you're not gonna, but you really need to book your January in October and November. You're in front of the most amount of people. So when you're asking, and if you still need parties for October, November, December, of course, book it. But pretty soon you're going to hear people say, oh my gosh, I can't do anything before Christmas. Talk to me later. And then unseasoned consultant would say, okay. A seasoned successful consultant would say, all right, not a problem. Let's do January. Let's pencil in January. Grab your little calendar. We don't know what it is. And you can say that if you feel compelled, or you can simply say our January hosts always earn a lot more free products. What would work for you? Let's just pencil it in. So I promise you, when you start doing that in October and November, you will have a strong January, a strong first quarter. So there's my big tip. I'll keep reminding you of that. We're going to do product knowledge in a minute as Olivia. Oh, there's Olivia. She's on. We've introduced product knowledge to our weekly Zoom calls because it's the one thing we all have in common, right? We all love our products. I'm excited to hear from Olivia here in a minute. Just to remind you that, or just to let you know, next Monday night, Connie Ashburn Connie is our training manager. She's going to be talking to us on sponsoring. If there's something that you would like her to touch on, you want to just type it in the comments or message me. Okay. And then the week after that, our amazing Angie Schaefer is going to talk about successful Facebook parties. I know she's talked to us before, but it's been a little while. We have new people, and heck, who can't use a refresher on that? So without further me yakking away, let's have Olivia. Olivia, how do you say your last name? I always second guess myself.
Yost.
Just what I thought. Olivia Yost from Wheaton, Minnesota is going to share with us. I'm not sure which product she's going to talk about. I'll let her tell you that. So go ahead, Olivia.
Alrighty, so my favorite product right now is the caramel mocha frozen drink mix, and I had it at our tasting at Sherry's house, and it was served with spiced rum, and that has been like my favorite way to have it. It just kind of takes away the like very vodka alcohol flavor and just is a good balance. So that's my favorite product, and I do mix it with the spiced rum. So yeah.
Oh, Olivia, is there a certain brand that you recommend on the spiced rum?
I'm not a big rum drinker, so I just went with the cheapest, and I bought the Ron Diaz, and it tasted great. So nothing special.
Interesting. Who made that for the meeting? Do you guys remember?
Is it Bar?
Elaine did, didn't she?
Elaine.
Oh,
There we go.
Elaine made it. That's right. Elaine's not on here tonight, or she hasn't joined us yet. Anyway, okay, good, Olivia. So do you like just drink it yourself, or do you share it?
I share it. I don't typically drink it just by myself, but some nights, some days I do.
I'm just kidding. That is one nice thing about our drink buckets. You can have a little bit and put it back in the freezer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so that's your favorite to drink, and you like to have it with the spiced rum.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. All right, Olivia, thank you very much. Anybody have anything else to add about that fun product? Or any questions for Olivia?
It's really good with rum chata splashed on top too.
Ooh,
hmm
I bet that is good.
Mhm.
I love rum chata. Good tip. Anything else about that? Oh, Angie, you're on mute if you're talking to us.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, so it doesn't show mute. I said Gail and Stephanie Jorgensen have been sampling that at events, and it's just they're selling tons of buckets. So
That's
yeah,
right.
just doing little tiny cups.
And the one
Gail
else,
sold like 10 of them at a small event this weekend.
how are they sampling
Yeah.
it? Like, what are they
But
mixing?
she put alcohol in it and then just a little tiny cup with a spoon. And she said she only gives it to people who show interest in them. And she actually has the alcohol in them, and she sold a ton of them.
Wow.
I sold a bunch this weekend with water in them.
Okay.
Oh,
And you
wow.
just did water,
Yep,
frozen or
just right out of the bucket.
okay.
I didn't
I
sell
mean-
any Friday night, but then Saturday when Jordan came up with the sample of it, I sold a ton of them.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh,
And were they
interesting.
frozen, Christy?
No, it was not
Okay.
frozen.
So
Actually, it was
cool.
warm.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
I think Stephanie shared when she does it, just like what Angie said, like she just gives someone, she must offer it to them. She doesn't just leave it out there just because of the alcohol is not, I think, what she said.
So people like it just liquidy.
According
Like-
to Christy.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
not
that's how
frozen. It tastes fine, not frozen too.
That's how Elaine served it to us, was just like hardly any slush when we had it at Sherry's house. It was just like basically like a cooled drink. It wasn't slushy at that point,
Right.
and it was
Yeah.
very good.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter made it in the stove and then drove the 15 miles, and I mean, she had it in the fridge for just a short time, and I just had little cups of it and just sampled it that way.
Well, and I think the sampling makes a big difference because I did sample the Oh My Chai and I sold all but one.
Agreed, especially in those drinks, so people can get a chance to try it. All right, well, thank you, Olivia. Great job on the product knowledge on our wonderful drink mix. And we'll continue to do that every week so we can bring our products to life. Well, next up is our new gold leader, Sheila Rupert from Watkins, Minnesota. And Sheila, talked last time about this cool thing Mel Robbins has been sharing. I think she even has a book on it, on high-fiving yourself. And then I'm like, well, Sheila, sounds like that'd be a great thing for you to share with us. So let's welcome Sheila to the call, and she's gonna inspire us with high fives.
High fives.
Hi, Sheila.
So has anyone heard of Mel Robbins, or do you follow Mel Robbins on Facebook? So we first met Mel in person when she spoke at one of our conferences. And that was back when she had first come out with a book, and it was called the 5-second rule, where you can do anything you set your mind to just by counting backwards from 5, like getting out of bed, for instance, in the morning. If you keep hitting your snooze, tell yourself, I'm going to get out of bed in 5 seconds, and you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up. So that was her book then. And a couple of things that I have continued to do that I learned from her was, number one, lay your clothes out the night before so that in the morning you don't stand in the closet looking and waiting and watching and figuring out what you're going to wear. And then if you're someone who needs to do your workout right away in the morning, lay your workout clothes on. And when you get out of bed, you put those on. You don't hang around in your pajamas all day. So those are a couple of things that I learned from her then that I still apply in my life right now. But now she has a new book out, and I went and bought it. It's called the High Five Habit, and it's about high-fiving yourself. And I'm just going to read some of the things I highlighted. I kind of went through the book this weekend and highlighted a few things I want to talk to you about. So I'll try not to act like I'm reading to a classroom, but I kind of am. So here we go. So let me tell you about a day not very long ago when I made a simple discovery. I call it the High Five Habit, and it will help you improve the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. I'm going to share with you the story, the research, and how you can use this habit to change your life too. It all started one morning as I was standing in my bathroom, brushing my teeth, and I caught my reflection in the mirror, and I thought, ugh. I started picking apart all of the things I don't like about myself. The dark circles under my eyes, my pointy chin, the fact that my right boob is smaller than the left one, and the saggy skin on my stomach. My mind started going, I look horrible. I need to exercise more. I hate my neck. Every thought I had just made me feel worse about myself. I looked at the time. My first Zoom call started in 15 minutes. I've got to get up earlier. I thought about the deadline I was up against, the deal I was trying to close, the emails and texts I hadn't responded to, the dog that had yet to be walked, my dad's biopsy results, and all the things the kids needed me to do today. I felt completely overwhelmed, and I hadn't even put on a bra or had coffee yet. Ugh. All I wanted to do that morning was pour myself a cup of coffee, collapse in front of the TV, and just forget about all the things that were bothering me. But I knew that was the wrong thing to do. I knew that no one was going to swoop in and fix my problems or finish the projects on my list or exercise for me or handle that difficult conversation I needed to have at work. I just wanted a frickin' break from my life. I don't know what came over me.
Listening to it.
I don't know what came over me or why I did it, but for whatever reason, standing there in my bathroom in my underwear, I lifted my hand to my tired reflection in a kind of salute. I see you was all I wanted to say. I see you and I love you. Come on now, Mel, you've got this. I realized midway through this gesture that my salute to myself was a simple high five. Recognizable, unmistakable, and as common as a handshake. We've all given and received high five countless times in our lives. Maybe there's even something a little cheesy about them. But there I stood, braless and uncaffeinated, leaning against the bathroom sink, high-fiving my own reflection. Without saying a word, I was telling myself something I desperately needed to hear. I was assuring myself that I could do it, whatever it was. I was cheering for myself and encouraging the woman I saw in the mirror to lift her chin up and keep going. As my hand touched the mirror and met my reflection, I felt my spirit lift a little. I wasn't alone. I had me. It was a simple gesture, an act of kindness toward myself, something I needed and deserved. Immediately, I felt my chest loosen. I squared my shoulders and I cracked a smile at how corny the high five seemed. But suddenly I didn't look so tired. I didn't feel so alone, and that to-do list didn't seem so daunting. I went on with my day. The next morning, the alarm went off, same problems and same overwhelm. I got up, I made my bed, I walked into the bathroom, and there was my reflection. Hey there, Mel. Without thinking, I smiled and found myself high-fiving myself in the mirror again. On the third morning, I got up and realized I was thinking about and looking forward to now seeing my reflection so I could give myself that high five. I know it's weird, but it's the truth. I made my bed a little quicker than usual and walked into the bathroom with a sense of enthusiasm that no one should have at 6:05 a.m. The only way I can describe it is I felt like I was about to see a friend. Stop and think about it. How does criticizing yourself actually help you? I want you to answer this question honestly. How frequently do you cheer for yourself? Anyone cheer for themselves ever? I bet you just came to the same conclusion I did. Almost never. The question is why? If being loved, encouraged, and celebrated feels so darn good, if it keeps you going and helps you achieve your goals, why don't you do it for yourself? After a few weeks of high-fiving myself in the mirror, I knew this simple habit was changing me in profound ways. I no longer focused on the things I thought I hated about myself. I began to realize the least interesting thing about me is how I look. The best part and most lovable part is what's on the inside. So raise your hand and silently say to yourself, hey, you, I see you. You got this. Let's do this every morning. All of this will have a major impact on your mood, your feelings, your motivation, your resilience, and your attitude. Couple more pages. A high five costs nothing, and what it gives you is priceless. A moment of validation. It is proof that you are still standing, still smiling, and that no matter what happens today, you have your own back. When you look at yourself in the mirror and raise your hand in celebration, you cannot think, God, I look fat. I'm a loser. I am a horrible person. I hate my stomach. It's impossible. I tried to say, I hate my neck out loud as I touched the mirror. You can't do it. I just laughed as the words came out. It is impossible to have a negative thought because for your entire lifetime, you have had a positive association with giving someone else a high five. No one ever gives you a high five and says, you are such a loser. As soon as you raise your hand to high five yourself, your subconscious mind flips into a positive mode and silences the critic in your head. It's almost impossible to high five yourself while worrying about your to-do list or work email or something you have to do today. That's because a high five is a gut check for right now. It snaps you into the present moment. Think about it. There's nothing worse than receiving or giving a high five that feels limp or misses the full contact of your hand. To give a good one, you've got to concentrate on the action and the intention. You must be fully present. The same thing happens when you give one to yourself. And that habit of worrying that normally hijacks you when you start brushing your teeth. How am I going to finish that presentation in time and get my mom to her doctor's appointment? That gets silenced by the act of raising up your hand. The mental death spiral ends and the focus begins. I see you. I believe in you. I am here with you. You got this. How do you want to show up today? Who do you want to be? What is the one personal project that you need to make some progress for yourself? At this point, I sound like a broken record, but that brings me back to the mirror. Making it a habit to see yourself every morning and raise your hand in celebration of yourself is the first step in building a new relationship with yourself. It's the most important relationship you have. It shapes every other relationship and the decisions you make. When you replace that self-doubt and self-criticism that drags you down with self-acceptance and self-love that lifts you up, your life will change. So how about you making this a habit? So if you're wondering how exactly to start doing it, it's very quite simple. Every morning before you look at your phone or let the world in, take a moment to be with your reflection. The second you leave that bathroom, almost every moment is going to be about other people. You'll be distracted by your phone, what's going on at work, or what your kids need. The high five habit is a moment every morning just for you. It has 2 simple but powerful steps. Standing in front of the mirror, just be with yourself for a second. When you feel ready, high five yourself in the mirror. That's it. So it's really that simple. For 5 days, start your day by high-fiving yourself in the mirror. That's it. And here's the coolest part. You don't have to take the challenge alone. She does have a website that you can follow, highfivechallenge.com. You can follow her Facebook. She's giving me a high five. High five. You can follow her Facebook page and she talks about it, and she has a blog that also talks about it. And then she listed some meaningful mantras that you can say to yourself while you're doing a high five. If you want to write these down, you could. I deserve to feel good today. I am an awesome person. I have my own back. This is teaching me something I need to know. Today is going to be a good day. I am enough just as I am. I will figure this out. Every day I'm getting a little stronger. Don't believe me? Watch. I can handle this. Bring it on. What's meant for me is trying to find me. I am stronger than I think I am. I am allowed to be a work in progress. This scares me and I'm doing it anyway. My new chapter is just beginning. The world needs my story. I am growing every day. I choose to focus on what I can control. This moment is temporary. If I put in the work, it will happen. That's my favorite. If I put in the work, it will happen. So anyway, that's just bits and pieces from her book. Obviously, it goes into the science behind the high five habit, and there's some challenges in here and some workbooks that you can go through with her. But isn't that a neat concept that just by spending a few moments with yourself in the mirror every morning and high-fiving yourself, that will set the precedence for the day? And then she also says, like, every time you pass a mirror during the day, or if you're in the restroom at work and you're looking in the mirror, high five yourself every time you're in front of a mirror. And it just immediately will lift your spirit and change your mood. That's it. That's what I have.
I love it, Sheila. Have you been doing it?
No, I'm going to start tomorrow. Who's going to do it with me?
Yes.
High five if you're going to start it tomorrow.
Yes. I love it. Yeah, let's start it tomorrow for sure.
So try it for 5 days. Every time you're in front of a mirror or past a mirror, high five yourself. I mean, like even at my job, like if we're like goofing off at work or whatever, we'll meet each other in the hall. We'll be like, high five. And it's just funny how everybody just kind of starts laughing when you do it, but it does immediately change your mood. Because like she said, you never high five somebody and tell them that they suck, you know? Good job, you suck. No, never happens. Bad job, you suck. Never happens.
Where did you get the book, Sheila? Did you order it on Amazon?
I got it at Barnes and Noble. I just picked it up at the store.
Okay, cool.
So cool.
And Barbara had shared with me that, I think I told you, Sheila, Mel was on Dr. Oz last week, I think it was. So yeah, she's really all over the place. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
if you go on her Facebook page, you can watch like her interview on the Today Show and get a little bit more information about it. But
Yeah.
I love her. She's just so real. She
Yep.
keeps everything so real.
Yep.
Now,
Agreed.
who's gonna admit that they have one boob bigger than the other?
Mel Robbins.
Angie Schaefer.
Pretty flat.
I do too, Angie. Don't feel alone.
Everybody does.
I think everybody does. Anybody have any questions for Sheila?
I just want to say thanks for sharing. I'm excited about it.
Me too. I love it. I can't wait to hear how it goes for everybody. We'll just have to post on the team page, huh?
I heard something similar too. They said you should talk to yourself like you talk to your dog. You know,
Like
Yeah.
you talk to
Another
your
good one.
dog.
like good. You're always nice to your dog.
Baby dog. Yeah. So who
He's
makes
a
the
good
bed
boy.
every morning
Yeah.
besides me?
Well,
Kind of, sort of.
my husband is sometimes, a lot of times still in bed, so.
Oh, yes.
I
I
sleep on
love-
the top with a blanket so you don't have to make the bed.
Ah,
I know, I'm so weird.
you are crazy lazy. Crazy lazy. I agree though, Sheila. I was brought up too, like you're supposed to make your bed, and
Mhm.
there's even a book I bought for my husband about make your bed or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
That was out a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Funny.
It all starts in the morning when you get out of bed. It sets the precedence for the day that you're getting organized. You're making up a nice bed for when you come back in the evening. And then that other one about setting your clothes out, that's huge, because I used to waste so much time standing in my closet looking at what the heck am I gonna wear today, putting an outfit together.
Right.
Anybody else do that? Set your
Mhm.
clothes out the night before?
I've gotten lazy, Sheila. When I used to work for Land O'Lakes, years ago, I would lay out my clothes for all week because
Mhm.
I didn't want to have to think about it. And I'd make sure everything was clean. I mean, I was younger, no kids, but I even did it for the whole week. But yeah, it's a great idea. It totally makes sense. I've gotten really lazy.
And then like for me too, Saturday and Sunday, lay out your workout clothes, because if you put them on, that's gonna have in your mind that you're gonna work out. If you stay in your pajamas till 10 o'clock, it's probably not gonna happen.
Agree. Excellent job, Sheila. Way to bring that up. It's really inspiring and important. That self-talk is big. And I agree with you. I love that one of the affirmations or what you just read is if I put in the work, it will happen. And so true in so many areas of your life. So, yeah, excellent, Sheila. Anything else you want to wrap it up with?
I don't think so. You could report back and let me know how you feel about giving yourself a high five throughout the day.
Yeah. Yeah, let's start something on the team page. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Katie said we should read it together.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Mhm.
Good idea. How many chapters is it, Sheila?
It's a pretty big book. It's 223 pages.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't have, oh yeah, it does, chapter 15 chapters.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, well, we should talk about that for sure. I love a good book. Yeah,
It's an easy read.
I figured, yeah. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna stop the recording and we can sure hang on.